What do you think of Christians who disagree on the topic of the Trinity or the doctrine of the Trinity? Now, this is a very, very touchy subject because I believe in the Trinity. I'm a Trinitarian. I believe it's orthodox. I believe it's right. Obviously, I wouldn't be Trinitarian. But there's a lot of people that don't believe in the Trinity. The problem with me giving you a blanket statement on what I think about this is there's so much variation. There's some that don't believe in the Trinity, but they still believe Jesus is God, the Holy Spirit is God, and there's God the Father. So they believe in the Trinity, but in a weird way. There's others that are very popular right now. I won't mention names, okay? I'm going to hold my mouth here and just be careful what I say, that deny Jesus is God. They just say Jesus was created. He was an afterthought of God, but he's not God. And I personally, I don't know where exactly I'm at. Let me just say this. I don't think you can be saved if you don't believe Jesus is God. I just personally, that's where I'm at right now in my life. I just can't imagine. I wouldn't bring on a guest that doesn't believe Jesus is God. Like if you don't believe Jesus is God, when the Bible makes it clear, the Word became flesh and is dwelling among it, who was in the beginning. In the beginning was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Like John 1, how could you miss it? It says it right there. And then there's many other texts where Jesus claimed I am, which is a title only reserved for God. Very clear, Jesus allowed worship and accepted worship, which is only a place for God. If you look at the angels, they said, don't worship us. Even the disciples, people tried to worship them in the book of Acts, and they said, don't worship us. So Jesus accepted worship. He called himself God. He used the I am title. I think the Bible makes it explicitly clear. So for me, I personally don't think you can say Jesus isn't God and still be a Christian. In fact, I would go as far to say is if you start that theology of saying Jesus isn't God, you're sliding into Islam. You're slowly on the path of becoming a Muslim. And mark my words, some of these guys that you guys know who they are, I'm not going to call out names and start a war. I don't have time for a war. I got too many kids and too much going on to start a war with people online. But mark my words, some of them will convert to Islam. They will become Muslims because this is the path you take. Jesus was a prophet. He wasn't God. That's literally what Islam teaches, which is completely a false occult, obviously. So I'm just very leery about people that say Jesus isn't God. Again, I don't want to call everyone who doesn't believe in the Trinity a heretic and they're not saved because I don't know. I'm not the judge of salvation. But I would say if you don't think Jesus is God, it's going to be a very scary day for you on Judgment Day. And the Bible clearly says Jesus is God, that he was creator God. The Bible goes as far to say he's creator God. Jesus created all things, and through him all things were created. How could all things be created through Jesus and Jesus not be God? And I could go on for days on that. I won't. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the Trinity. All right.